Hey everyone, my name is Dan and I am sitting behind the wheel of my 2013 Lincoln MKT EcoBoost. This morning I was driving along, had no problems, pulled over, stopped by Walgreens, got back in my car, hit start, the car started, but as I pulled away from the curb it hesitated, stumbled, and the engine cut out. I restarted it, pulled away again, the engine immediately cut out. I coasted to the curb where fortunately I was able to park legally. And after that, it responded like this. Nothing. No pop, no nothing. My initial response was fuel pump would be bad. It was classic fuel issues. You start, the car stumbles initially, especially when you're talking about a fuel injected vehicle like this. There's pressure that's retained overnight. The pump stops running. The residual pressure is sufficient to supply fuel for a little while, a block or two. Then all of a sudden fuel starts running low and eventually there's no fuel pressure left. The injectors can't spray anything. Boom, car dies. So So I decided to jump online and see what I could find. As is typical for this particular vehicle, there's quite a lot of information out there for its sibling, the Ford Flex, but almost nothing specific to the MKT. And I stumbled upon a very useful video right now as I'm sitting in my car. I don't remember the name of the gentleman who it was, but I'll link to it in the bottom, in the description, who had a video describing how he fixed this issue on a Ford Flex, and the issue was the fuel pump control module, which is effectively a fancy relay, and he showed how to fix it and where it was in the Ford Flex. It is, however, not in exactly the same location in the MKT, and the process of getting to it is somewhat different, and I didn't find any videos out there that describe the process, so I thought perhaps I should make one of my own and throw it up on the channel. The module in question, there's that litter here. The module in question looks like that. It's a single plug, it's held in place. As you'll see in a minute, it's mounted like this in the behind the quarter panel cover right near the C-pillar. I downloaded a copy of the manual that had the description of how to take it apart. I've already done that. It's pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to kind of do a quick walkthrough of what I did to get access to it, and then I will stop filming. I will install this new piece. I will plug it in and turn on the camera, and we will see if it will start. Step one is to open up your gate. I happen to have a third row. I have it folded down like this. You don't necessarily have to do it that way, but I did just have room to lay on it. I have instructions from the workshop manual on how to take off the covers here, although the instructions tend to focus more on this cover, and a lot of what it talks about, like dealing with the strut here, doesn't apply to what you're doing here on the passenger side. But you pull this off and you pop off the kick panel cover like so. It's all held in place by clips, so it goes pop, 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 and it lifts right out. I also unscrewed this little piece here, which goes right there. It's part of where you would attach a luggage net to. I flipped forward the second row seats. You remove the C-pillar cover, which is actually in two pieces. So the first piece that comes off is this piece here that the seat belt goes through. Once that comes off, then you pop off this cover right here, and then the two pieces will just slide down out of the way. Then there really is only one other piece I think that you need to deal with, and that is down here. If you lift this threshold piece, you will find this little screw right here. It goes right there, and I thought it was going to be metric, but it turned out to not be metric, but it is a 7/32. And so I took that off so that this would be loose. Then I just pried, and you will find the control module right here, held in place by a couple of screws with a plug underneath it. Now I can actually test this first without taking the module off. So I am going to do that. I'm going to just unplug it. I'm going to plug my other module in, and then let's see what happens. All right, just to help everybody out here, how to release this. I pushed a screwdriver right in here, and it releases a clip, and you can pull that down, but it requires 2 hands. Okay, as you can see, it is just unclipped, and I'm going to plug in the new one, and there's no grounds involved, so I don't need to completely remove the old one to test the new one. All right, and the new one is just clipped together and just sitting there. Okay, we are back behind the wheel. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit the engine start button here, which should energize the circuit. Hit the button again, there we go. If the issue is the relay, that should energize the pump so we can start building pressure. Well, let's see what happens. And there we go. Starts right up. Total cost $57. The part is a Dorman. I acquired it at AutoZone. They had it in stock at my local AutoZone, which also happens to be a supply location. I see I have a check engine light here, which I will need to diagnose, although that may go away on its own, given once I put everything back together here and close the hatch, etc. So we'll see. If there turns out to be some other issue, I will make another short video explaining what the check engine light was and how I dealt with it. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and feel free to leave any comments. Thanks.